All right, everybody, let's get into some politics now, and quite a bit to get into. For that, we're joined on our panel here by Tom Daugherty, political strategist, former advisor to Republican Governor George Pataki, and somebody who likes to bust my chops, Dominic Carter, political journalist and author, Richard Brodsky, the chief, I could say something else here. Yes, I was going to say something else.
Leave that to
Former
Tom.
New York Assemblyman, senior fellow at Demos, professor at NYU, and also our senior political correspondent, Andrew Whitman here. And Andrew, before Richard interrupts you, why don't we get to some of those campaign headlines?
All right, Rich. Well, we're just 3 weeks away from the start of the conventions, 13 weeks from Election Day, as we check politics in 60 seconds. With just 92 campaign days left until the votes are counted, latest poll averages have the president increasing his lead, now up nearly 3.5 over Mitt Romney, which works out to a 56-point lead in the Electoral College and only 100 electoral votes up for grabs. At 5:38, Nate Silver has Obama winning in 72% of his computer simulations, with Obama averaging better than 300 electoral votes per simulation. The first official list of speakers for the Republican convention is out. Rule of thumb, if you're on the speakers list, you're off the list for vice president. That group includes some big names like John McCain, Condoleezza Rice, and Mike Huckabee, making this the latest list of VP frontrunners: Rubio, Ryan, Christie, Ayotte, Portman, Pawlenty, and McDonnell. Then there's this group, unclear if they'll have a convention role or will be considered for Romney's number 2. Finally, fundraising. The money war fuels these campaigns, and in July, Romney outraised Obama again by more than $26 million.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Now, along with those fundraising numbers, there's another money-related angle to get into here. How quickly these campaigns are burning through their cash, and specifically the Obama campaign. In June, last month here, we got official records for the Obama team outspent Mitt Romney by more than 4-1. But that total of $45 million spent in the month, it could leave the campaign cash poor come November, and that $45 million doesn't include Obama's 8-state, $77 million ad buy that was announced on Friday, or all the cash that he spent on nationwide ads that he ran during the Olympics. And Dom, I'm going to start with you. We know from the overall numbers he's getting outraised. That's not even counting the special interest stuff. They obviously have a strategy here to get out front early and front run with this thing. Whether it's a good or a bad strategy, how worried are they they're not going to be able to compete in October, let alone September?
Well, Obama's track record says he can raise money. But with that said, they are being badly beaten in terms of the game of raising money. And so they're already, as you've reported night after night, they're already going to be in, I see Richard Brodsky is raising his hands, but I'm only telling you the truth.
Bourgeois.
They are going to be in deep trouble when it comes to the super PAC money. And so Mr. Obama, and it's almost like he's the challenger. It's hard to believe that he's the incumbent. And when it comes to money, this is not like
Let me ask somebody who's ran a campaign, and also somebody who's been in front of it as a candidate. How important is it to have a money advantage late in the campaign from a strategy standpoint?
Well, it's crucial. But that said, I think the Obama campaign has done the very, very wise move of, after Romney came out of a very bruising political primary battle, to keep it up and to go after him at a time when the economy, continues to be the issue, and to define Mitt Romney. And that's one of the reasons why, as Andrew pointed out, that we see a race that is, within 2 or 3 points right now. It was a very, very smart move for them to go and sort of shove all in. Do I think he'll be short on money at the end? No. But I certainly think Romney in September and October will have a money advantage.
And Richard, if you have the money advantage, you buy up all the airtime?
This won't happen often, but Daugherty's right.
It's already started with 14 minutes in.
And Dominic is wrong. He's being outraised in the last 6 weeks. But from the beginning of the campaign to now, he still has a money advantage. The strategies he's using to spend it are subject to challenge, obviously. But I happen to think Tom has nailed it, that what he's done is use this opportunity to define Romney in ways that Romney will not be able to spend his way out of come October, November.
We'll see. That's a gamble.
That is a gamble.
We'll see.
Well, I guess the other idea, Andrew, is you get free airtime once you've got the conventions, you got the debates, and out of that, the sound bites will kind of make their own free airtime. What'll come out of it, I guess that's also part of the strategy.
It is, and then of course the campaigns want and need to have additional cash on hand for get out the vote, for legal challenges if they need that. There are there are reasons for having a cash advantage towards the end. Although, considering the total sum of money that's going to be spent in this election, I don't think anybody's going to wind up cash poor. They may spend less, but...
Now, I know this next one, Richard and Tom will not agree on, and it's either a real smart move here by the Senate Majority Leader to keep pressure on Romney over his tax returns, or it could be a jump the shark moment here that'll come bite him, where, and take the pressure off of Romney. Either way, the fight, Andrew, between Romney and Harry Reid over his tax returns, it's not going away. Both sides are doubling down.
Yeah, and if people haven't been following it, here's the backstory. You know about Romney's tax returns. He's only released his 2010 return and may release his 2011 return in October. Democrats have been pressuring Romney on that front and asking aloud why Romney hasn't released more. Then late last week, Majority Leader Harry Reid took to the floor of the Senate and offered this totally unverified bit of tax speculation.
If a person coming before this body wanted to be a cabinet officer, he couldn't be if he had he did the same refusal Mitt Romney does about tax returns. So the word's out that he hasn't paid any taxes for 10 years. Let him prove that he has paid taxes, because he hasn't.
Romney's response to Reid, either prove your allegations or shut up. But Reid's comments only stirred the pot on what, if anything, Romney is hiding in his tax returns. So this weekend, the GOP went on the tack against Harry Reid.
This is a reckless and slanderous charge by Harry Reid. Bob, people don't care about Mitt Romney's tax returns. They care about their own tax returns.
I actually like Harry, but what he did on the floor of the Senate is so out of bounds. I think he's lying about his statement of knowing something about Romney.
I'm not going to respond to a dirty liar who hasn't filed a single page of tax returns himself.
Dirty liar. Richard, if it was a Republican saying this about Obama, would he be a dirty liar?
What Harry Reid did was unfair, based on nothing, and politically brilliant. Okay? We're talking about it,
yeah.
and it kept the story alive. The fact of the matter is, Romney's refusal to release his taxes is going to matter to the American people to one degree or another. And as irresponsible as Reid was personally, it was politically the right thing to do. And to hear Republicans, the Lee Atwater, Swift Boat Republicans, complain that they're finally getting a taste of their own medicine, struck me as not much to
Tom,
pay
even if it's a
attention to.
cheap shot and dirty and whatever you want to call it, if you're counseling the guy, do you say just get it out already?
No, I don't, because what I do is I go back to what Richard just said about Harry Reid, is that, in Richard, someone who I disagree with a lot, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for, because I think ethically you wouldn't find a more ethically pure guy. What Harry Reid did is a disgrace to the United States Senate. It would be like me coming on this show and saying, I have friends who know stuff about the president, who they've seen him do. That's just
fill in the blank, right?
Fill in the blank. I mean, that's a disgrace. And the fact is I disagree with Richard on this point, is that on Election Day, no one is going to care whether or not Mitt Romney released his 09, 08, 07 tax returns at all.
What Harry Reid did was a disgrace.
Right.
Birther stuff was a disgrace.
That's what this is, the birth certificate.
So that makes it okay?
No.
But I didn't come on here. You see, this
I
is
said
what
it was a
But
disgrace.
Richard, here's the problem. The problem is that we always go back to the small little minority in this country who have a bad position on guns, who have a bad position on birthers, as if they speak for us in the majority. The majority of Americans should get together and just sit here tonight and say what Harry Reid did was a disgrace and end it right there. That's what we should just do.
We agree on the disgrace part.
We're talking
I'm
about the nonsense of
going to
this.
go out and say, you know what Mitt Romney is doing is a bit of a disgrace here too. Release the tax returns.
Who are you to be the moral judge of that?
I'm a voter. I'm a voter who's entitled to information.
We don't care what you're voting for.
Information about the people who are running for president.
The American people.
If his entire basis
there is nowhere that it says in a political
his
campaign
entire
he has to release 5,
his
10,
entire
15
basis
years.
for saying I'm qualified to be president is look at how smart a businessman I am.
Right.
In that case, let's see how smart a businessman you are.
You know what, Andrew? The truth of the matter is this: is that he's such a smart businessman. Is that probably like a Warren Buffett or a Bill Gates, etc. He used the tax code to his advantage. And when it comes out, I think 2010, he wound up paying 31% of his taxes, where Obama paid 30% of his taxes.
He paid 13%.
Wait a second. When you add it all in, the New York Times reported, Andrew. So go back to the Times.
13.9%.
It was 31 and 30.
13.9.
He's
Fine.
right.
The point is that on the overriding overall is that you believe that for some reason his 09, 08, 07 taxes matter to you. It won't matter to you because if you release 50 years of them, you're still voting for Obama.
I'll settle for 4.
Tom, if he benefited,
who are you the determined for?
if he benefited from a tax system that unfairly favors the rich, as he is one of them, don't the American people have the right to judge whether that's fair and whether the positions that he's advocating for, which only benefit the rich even more, are better for the country?
If it's unfair to the rich, why didn't Reid, Pelosi, and Obama change in the 2 years that they ran the Congress? They made no changes to tax
They're not running for
Let
president.
me ask you this much,
Oh,
Tom.
Obama
Tom,
is running for
Do
president.
I get credit for staying out of this?
No,
so
you
far?
don't. I'm
No,
going
you
to drag you right now. Here's my question. When Romney had to address and he said, I paid 13% for my taxes, it was a story. It was a story, I think, for about 3 days in the news cycle until something else changed. If Reid's actually right and he didn't pay taxes...
Right. Notice I didn't say that he was wrong. That's this one.
Well, they said he was. Okay.
I say
I
he
guess
was
my
wrong.
question is who's right here, whether or not it's going to matter?
If Reid's allegation is accurate and that he paid no taxes for a 10-year period,
Well, you think we're going to find out?
I do think we're going to find out. But if we don't, normally when there's smoke, there's fire. Reid wouldn't jump out there as a Senate Majority Leader without knowing
I'm so
something.
surprised about one thing.
Somebody's told him something.
Obviously,
There's something
none
in
of us are naive to think that he did this in a vacuum. This thing was coordinated. I'm just surprised it was a Senate Majority Leader who went out and did it. And even if we all agree it was a dirty trick. All right, we're going to jump to a break. When we come back, hey, listen, we're already talking about how nasty this election season's gotten. Is the campaign season more negative than ever before? Does it just seem that way? And what do the voters really think about all that? We'll tell you after this.